Now, when it comes to Drake, it's starting to feel like every time he takes a step forward, something drags him 3 steps back. And this time, it's not just bad press, it's his entire tour crashing and burning before it even really got going. Yes, you heard that right. Drake's latest attempt at reviving his image, the It's All a Blur, Big as the What tour with PartyNextDoor, is already in serious trouble. And we're not even halfway through the first leg. It's giving deja vu, like the disaster that was the Anita Max Win tour, except this time it's worse, because it's not just weird planning or awkward venues, it's total chaos. See, Drake has been doing the most lately to show that he's back to business, whether it's pumping out underwhelming collabs with Central C or putting out bizarre movie-length content where he's literally filming chase scenes with Pinocchio. Yes, Pinocchio. It's clear he's trying to win back fans, trying to clean up his image, trying to make it seem like he's serious again after months of trolling, pettiness, and just straight-up odd behavior. But now, after all that effort to look like he's grinding again, he's out here canceling shows last minute, and not just any show. We're talking Manchester, a major stop on the tour, gone with less than 24 hours notice. And the reason? Brace yourself. According to Drake's camp and the arena itself, the cancellation was due to, get this, unforeseen ferry schedules and travel logistics. Wait, what? Let's pause for a second. Drake, one of the richest and most powerful figures in music, with a literal army of tour managers, PR reps, security teams, assistants, and travel coordinators, is canceling a stadium show because of ferry schedules? Nah, that doesn't add up at all. Because here's the kicker. He was already in Manchester. He had just done back-to-back shows there on the 25th and the 26th. So what travel issues are we talking about? He wasn't flying in from another country. The man was literally already there. And when you realize that, suddenly this whole excuse falls apart. Because if you've ever followed a major artist's tour schedule, you'd know these things are planned down to the last second. Every truck, every light, every piece of sound equipment already accounted for, especially for artists like Drake. So how does a show get scrapped overnight when everything's already in place? It doesn't make sense. Not unless there's something else going on. And if we're being real, there probably is. Because when artists and teams start throwing around phrases like logistical issues, it's usually code. Code for something they don't want to say out loud, like poor ticket sales or behind-the-scenes drama. Or maybe Drake just didn't feel like doing it. And if that sounds dramatic, think about this. This isn't the first time this has happened. During the Anita Max Win tour, they gave almost the exact same excuse: travel issues, logistics. But what really ended up coming out? Shows were getting scrapped because fans weren't showing up like they used to. And now, we're seeing the same pattern. The thing is, touring is hard, no question about that. It's exhausting, it's high stress, it's non-stop. But canceling a show in a major city less than a day before it happens, when your entire team is already on the ground, your gear is set up, and fans have booked hotels, flights, and made travel plans? That's not just unprofessional, that's a slap in the face. Especially for the fans who have stuck by Drake, even through all the mess. The people who bought overpriced tickets to see him live. The ones who still believe in the boy, even though he's nearly 40 and still playing high school heartbreaker. And now, they're the ones left disappointed. Again. Because when you cancel a show this close to game time, there's no real way to make it right. There's no do-over. People booked their weekend around this. Some saved up just to attend. And now, it's gone. Poof. With a vague excuse and no accountability. And the worst part? Drake doesn't even seem bothered. He's still out here making TikToks, dropping weird skits, and pretending like nothing happened. No apology, no real explanation, just silence. So yeah, fans are mad. And rightfully so. Because this isn't about a ferry. It's about respect. It's about loyalty. And it's about an artist who might be too deep in his own bubble to realize how badly he's burning the people who made him who he is. And with that, all eyes are on Drake to see what he does next.
And honestly, if you scroll through social media right now, the backlash is real. Fans are livid. Some have been planning for this show for months, booking flights, hotels, taking days off work, and now all of that went up in smoke overnight. It's one thing to disappoint people, but to do it with zero transparency and only hours before the event, that's another level of disrespect. And it's no surprise everyone's calling Drake out for it, because the chaos this last-minute cancellation caused is personal. Not just for fans, but for the crew, the vendors, and even the arena workers. Everyone got thrown off by this sudden switch-up. Now, some people are speculating it might have been due to low ticket sales, but honestly, that theory doesn't fully hold up either. Manchester was filling up, people were going, and let's be real, if there was truly a solid reason, Drake or his team would have said so by now. Instead, what we've gotten are vague excuses and PR jargon that mean absolutely nothing. And that silence, that makes everything look worse. Because the deeper you dig into this, the clearer it becomes this might not be about logistics or tickets at all. It might just be about Drake, about his attitude, about how disconnected he's become from the real world outside his Toronto mansion and endless luxury. The truth might just be that he simply didn't feel like performing, period. That's the part that stings the most. This isn't some underground artist struggling to get by. This is Drake, a global icon, a man who literally brags in his songs about having private jets, endless access, and the kind of pool that can shut down entire cities. So how are we expected to believe that a ferry schedule ruined the night? Meanwhile, fans were still showing up, using trains, buses, cars, doing whatever it took to be there. This wasn't a problem of logistics. This was a problem of commitment, and Drake's been showing that over and over again. Because if this were a one-time slip-up, sure, we could let it slide, but this isn't the first time. In fact, it's becoming a pattern. That's now 5 shows canceled in this current tour era alone. Whether it's in Europe or the US, this rollout has been a mess from the jump, and fans are starting to catch on. Drake's heart just isn't in it anymore. And while all of this is happening, on the other side of the industry, Kendrick Lamar is showing up and showing out. The Grand National Tour has been going strong since April, and Kendrick hasn't missed a beat, not a single cancellation, not even when the weather got bad. He's been performing night after night, no excuses, no drama, just iconic moment after iconic moment. And that contrast is glaring. Because when we compare these two, the Drake versus Kendrick debate that's been going on for years, the proof is right there. Kendrick is putting in the work. Stadiums are packed. The energy is electric. He's creating moments that fans will remember for life. And Drake? He's becoming that unreliable coworker who calls out of work last minute and leaves everyone else picking up the pieces. Kendrick's shows feel like statements, like he's carrying the weight of the culture on his back and doing it with grace, purpose, and excellence. Meanwhile, Drake's antics are starting to feel like someone who doesn't really care about the culture, the fans, or even the legacy he once fought so hard to build. This tour could have been a redemption arc, a fresh start, but instead, Drake is fumbling it badly. And it's not just the fans who are affected. Let's not forget the entire team behind the scenes. Lighting crews, sound techs, security, venue staff. These are real people with jobs and bills who now have to rework their schedules and potentially lose out on pay just because someone at the top decided to call it quits at the last second. Rescheduling a show sounds simple on paper, but it has real consequences for hundreds of people. So no, this isn't just a bad night. This is a serious lapse in professionalism. And maybe that's why people are starting to question if Drake ever truly deserved to be seen as the face of hip-hop. Because sure, he had the hits, he had the numbers, but did he ever have the discipline, the hunger, the consistency? Those are things Kendrick Lamar has in abundance, and he's proven it now more than ever. At least Drake still knows how to play the game of appearances. He's still posting, still trying to go viral, still hoping that one meme or one TikTok clip would distract everyone from the growing list of failures behind the scenes. But it's not working. Not anymore. The comparisons are too obvious. The disappointment is too loud. So once again, we're left with the same question we've been asking for years. Who really won the beef? Because when one artist is out here selling out stadiums, putting on once-in-a-generation shows night after night, and the other is canceling glorified karaoke gigs because he missed the ferry, it's pretty clear who's actually doing the work and who's just coasting. So now it's over to you. What do you think is really going on with Drake? Do you believe these cancellations are about logistics, or is there something deeper going on behind the scenes? And what does this mean for the rest of the tour? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because if Drake keeps this up, we might be watching the end of an era play out in real time, and not in the way he probably imagined. And if you made it this far, be sure to hit like and subscribe. It means a lot. And if you want to see how things got even worse for Drake right before this, with Pusha T taking another vicious shot at him while dropping one of the best verses in years, go ahead and click the next video. You're not going to want to miss it.